In the last episode, I shared why holding both exists. How this space was born out of moments where life didn't make sense and where holding more than one truth became necessary. Today, I want to stay in that space a little longer. This episode is called Naming the In-Between, because sometimes the hardest part of a season isn't the pain itself. It's not having the words for where you are. The in-between is often internal. It's not always visible to the people in your life. It's private, disorienting, and hard to explain. And yet, so many of us live there. My hope today is simple: to name that space, to give language to something you may already feel, but haven't quite known how to articulate it or describe it. So what does the in-between feels like? The in-between, there's no bells and whistles in the in-between. It doesn't always comes with a clear beginning or a defining ending. More often it's quiet, and that's what makes it so unsettling. It can feel disorienting, like you don't fully recognize yourself anymore. Quiet in a way that feels heavy instead of peaceful. Heavy even when nothing looks wrong on the outside. It's tender. Small things feel big. Like, for example, just seeing a picture. Seeing someone who reminds you of that place or of the pain. Hearing a sound, a particular scent. Like, all of these things by itself, they are small things. They don't carry any weight on your emotions. But couple that with an experience that was painful, that brought about loss, those things now make the small things seem so big. And then the big things feel unspeakable. So the actual pain, the actual loss, it's so big, so heavy, that at times you prefer to sweep it under the carpet, sweep all the emotions, all the feelings, everything that comes with it. It's the place where life keeps moving, but internally you feel like you're standing still. Where people think you're okay, but inside you're still trying to make sense of what happened. And that will show up for people who they know how to show up, right? Like for me, for example. Take me for example. I know how to show up. All I need to do is just bathe, put on some nice clothes, do my makeup, make sure my hair looks good, and I can present myself as if I'm okay. And I've done that many times. But underneath all of that, I wasn't okay. The in-between is where you say things like, I feel off, but I don't know why. Or, I'm okay, but I'm not the same. And the hardest part is that both of those things can be true at the same time. Why is it hard to explain to others who are not currently walking or doesn't have that experience of the in-between of the situation that you're experiencing. The in-between doesn't fit clean narratives. People want timelines, they want updates, they want signs of progress. They want to know, are you better yet? Are you healed? Are you past it? The best way I can describe this is through an analogy. When someone breaks a limb, has surgery, or goes through a physical injury or medical procedure, there's usually a visible process. There's a cast, stitches, physical therapy, follow-up appointments. People understand that healing takes time because they can see it. But with emotional, spiritual, and relational injuries, there's no cast, no clear marker of progress, no visible sign that tells others or even yourself where you are in the process. You're often asked to explain something you don't yet understand yourself. And it's hard to describe a space you're still standing in. Silence gets misread as avoidance because now you're in a place where you can barely identify yourself, and so the frequent phone calls you used to make to a friend to check up on them, it has now stopped. So there's silence. And because you're silent, they think you're now avoiding them. Slowness gets mistaken for weakness. Needing time gets interpreted as being stuck. Oh, it's full time for you to get over it. You're just holding on to the pain. You're holding on to something that you should let go of. No, you're not holding on to it. You're trying to make sense of it. Because most times when you don't spend the time and do the work to understand what you're going through or what you've lost, it will show up in places that you don't want them to show up in, and show up in ways that are ugly, right? And so, no, it's not that you're stuck, but there is a need to be able to interpret and understand what you're experiencing. So you find yourself saying things like, nothing is wrong, but everything feels different. Or, I don't have the words yet. And that can feel isolating because the truth is you're not withholding, you're still discovering. Why naming the in-between matters? Naming the in-between doesn't fix or provide a solution, but it normalizes it. It normalizes the place that you're in. Language doesn't bring solution, but it brings relief, because now you have the words to say things like, I don't have the words yet. Nothing is wrong per se, but everything feels different, because the truth is, it's your emotions, you know? And so everything around you, everything is still in its place. You know, you're in a familiar room. It's your room. Your bed is still in the same place. Your dressing table is in the same place. You didn't make any major adjustments, but your presence in the room feels different. And that's what you're trying to normalize or figure out or understand. So it gives you permission to exist without rushing forward. It helps you stop feeling like you're doing life incorrectly. It replaces isolation with recognition. So because you know where you are, the space you're in, you can now say the words, say the things to the people who are well-meaning, but now they can recognize that indeed there is something going on, and they can recognize it, and they can hold that space with you by giving you your space and showing up in ways that will support you along the journey or while you're in that space. There's something powerful about realizing there's a name for this, and being able to share that name with the people who care. There's something grounding about saying, I'm not broken, I'm in between. Naming it doesn't mean you're staying there forever. It simply means you're being honest about where you are right now. And honesty is not the opposite of faith. It's often the doorway into deeper healing. Saying that I am hurting, saying that I am feeling the pain of this loss, and I'm yet to even identify the depths of it. Each day I'm getting deeper and deeper into the loss, into the grief of it. It's okay to be able to identify and say that this is what is happening. Not only is it liberating, but it helps you to normalize naming it without feeling ashamed or afraid. What are some experiences that land us there, right there in the in-between? The in-between doesn't come from just one kind of loss. It comes from transitions, especially the ones that undo us quietly. Sometimes it's relocating, leaving familiarity behind before you've learned how to belong again. The in-between showed up in my life at a very early age, at the age of 8, when I had to relocate from everything that I knew to be perfect in my 8-year-old mind. School was perfect. I had friends. I was well known in the school. I was involved. And I had teachers and even family friends who were teachers who looked out for me, you know, that little village. And there was church where I had my church friends, and we were very much involved even at 8 years old, having our own little singing group, and not being afraid to present in front of the church, and feeling the love from each member. And then also having your in your community, your neighbors, having friends who are your age group. Life seemed perfect. And then being uprooted from all of that and migrating to another country. I was in the in-between. Now that I'm doing all of this and I'm reflecting on my life and trying to remember moments of the in-between, I can say I was in that space for quite a long time, for a very long time. And it was hard to name because I was just a child, and it was hard to understand. Looking back, I think maybe there was even some layers of depression going on there. But hey, you live, you learn. You didn't know, you move on. And I'm now on the other side of it. I can look at it objectively and also transformatively. Sometimes it's the loss of friendships, relational shifts that don't come with rituals or goodbyes. Sometimes it's heartbreak, losing not only a person, but the future you imagined with that person. There's a line in the song Break Even by The Script that says, when a heart break, no, it don't break even. And that is profoundly true. Relationships take two people. But when separation happens, most times one person reaches the end first, regardless of what the circumstances are or what the circumstance is. And so the other person is left grieving not just the relationship, but the future they hoped to have. They're left holding loss, unanswered questions, and unmet expectations all at once. Sometimes it's compound grief, losing someone you love deeply, while also being strong for someone else whose life is weighing in the balance. Sometimes it's sickness or a health crisis, living in uncertainty while your body or the body of someone you love moves through a season of fragility and dependency. Sometimes it's the loss of a parent, learning how to live in a world that no longer feels anchored the same way. And sometimes it's the loss of a child, a loss that changes how you understand life itself. Each of these experiences doesn't just bring grief. They place you somewhere unfamiliar and uncomfortable. They place you in the in-between. I'll share more about these experiences in their own time, through my story or through the experience of someone else. And that's intentional. Each of these moments carry its own weight and its own questions and its own kind of grief. They deserve space to be honored, not rushed past or grouped together. When we slow down and give each experience its own room, we allow the story to be told with care and the healing to unfold without comparison or pressure. For now, I want to stay here in the understanding of what the in-between is and why this space matters. In the in-between, you will find that faith, grief, and identity meet. The in-between is often a crossroad. Faith can feel quieter here, not absent, just different. So you might find yourself now limiting your involvement in church and maybe even changing the church or the congregation that you attend. However, on the back end, you may find yourself having a deeper relationship with God, because now you have questions. And for me, I find that in those seasons, in those spaces of the in-between, I find myself retreating, but retreating into the Word of God. So I'll be very consistent with my devotions. I'll be very consistent with reading the Bible, with listening to worship songs. And that's how my faith shows up in the in-between. So it's not that it's absent, because externally people now see the not involved Cadian, the Cadian who is now saying no, and the Cadian who is much more quiet. But the truth is, my faith has just taken a different look. Instead of it being external, it's now more an internal, private, quiet experience. Grief reshapes how you see yourself and how you see God. And that is true, because now you are loaded with questions that you need answers from God, that you have for God, and you expect, and you're looking forward to answers. You're holding him now to the fire, and you're like, God, okay, you say that you are this, but here I am experiencing this and I'm hurting, so I need you to show up in that way for me. Your identity becomes fluid when old labels no longer fit. So at one point you felt strong and fearless. You felt like an overcomer. But now those labels have changed to feeling defeated, weak, fearful, and one day you will feel one way and the other you will feel one way. So one day you'll feel fearless, and then the next day you'll feel fearful. So it's like you're walking this zigzag path. It's crooked, not moving in a linear direction, And then when who you were doesn't fully make sense anymore, who you're becoming isn't clear yet. And that space can bring questions. So your faith, your grief, your identity brings along its own share of questions. But questions don't mean loss of faith. They mean engagement. Hence the reason now, instead of your faith being external, it now becomes internal. Because these are personal, private questions that you now need answers to. And the only person that can answer these questions is God. So you may find yourself at this point of the in-between, saying, I still believe, but differently. Or, I'm learning who I am now. And that kind of faith is honest, searching, and tender. And it is still faith. Give yourself permission not to rush the in-between. There is so much pressure to move on, to figure it out, to explain yourself, but understanding what's happening isn't required to be faithful or whole. Healing doesn't follow a deadline. There is no deadline. So stop going around telling people who are experiencing grief to figure it out and figure it out now. Sometimes it takes months, weeks, depending on the weight and the gravity and the intensity of the grief that is being experienced. It's hard to understand what's happening. It really is. Becoming happens quietly and unevenly. It's not linear. It's zigzag. Waiting is not failure. It's part of the process. You're allowed to say, I don't need answers yet. I'm allowed to take my time. I'm allowed to stop if you must, or pause. I'm allowed to change my environment. Because growth doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it unfolds slowly beneath the surface, long before it becomes visible. Naming the in-between doesn't mean you're stuck there forever. It just means you're being honest about where you are. And honesty is a form of healing. So if you find yourself in the in-between right now, I want you to know there's nothing wrong with you. You're not behind, you're not failing, you're not doing faith, grief, or life incorrectly. And I'll leave this passage, this Bible verse with you. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. Psalms 139, 23 to 24. Let's pray. God, we bring you what we've been carrying quietly, the things we didn't know how to name, the place we stayed quiet in because we didn't have the words, we couldn't articulate it. Teach us that honesty is safe with you, that naming where we are is not failure but faith. If we are in the in-between, meet us there with gentleness. Let truth open the door to healing and help us to trust that we don't have to rush what you are still restoring.